Hi there. I am I am sorry. My name is Chris Farrow. Welcome to my YouTube, where tonight I will be talking about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. It's a mega episode of episode 14, 15, and 16. Okay, it's 3 episodes. It's Wednesday. It's December 14th. It's in the middle of the holiday season. And I'm the 3 episodes late. That's why we're doing a mega one. And so, truly so sorry. And so, I want to be able to tell you that I love you so much for being here. And if you are wondering why I've taken so long or like where I'm at, you know that my heart will give that to you at the end. But I want to be somewhat professional. So, I will get going. Okay. But I'm so thankful for anyone that has been waiting for me. I'm so sorry. And, I'm hoping everyone is having a Merry Christmas, is having, like, a happy holiday season. I know that it's very stressful during this time of year. Boy, isn't it? And at the same time, I just wanna thank you for your grace because I know I'm 3 episodes late, I'm 30 minutes late to this app. So for tonight, truly, what honestly happened was I had a 6 o'clock dinner reservation. And that restaurant fucked up so bad that we just waited for so long that I got, like, almost half a meal comped. I don't have to tell you about that. It just took so long. So tonight is a different situation, but like, it's a hard time of year for a lot of people, and it's been a hard one for me. So I think that also just a culmination of some things. So if you're feeling whatever, we will talk that way. I'm so happy to see you guys, though. I am thankful to have like your energy and spirit here. Look at the fun peeps in the room. Let's talk about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. So if you've been wondering if I've watched Single Life, I want to tell you that I yesterday binged most of it. I had gotten only to like episode 4 and then binged all of it. And oh shit, I'm going back. Wait. Oops. Juan I did a 2-part Single Life for Docu Sweeties, okay? So 3 couples exist on the podcast, which Wa is editing herself, God bless her. I don't know when it's gonna be done or if it's done already. If you are part of our Patreon, then you would have already seen all of it because we upload immediately. So, part 1 and part 2, so you'll get also all the couples of Single Life. So we did a huge mega recap of Single Life, right? And I mean, I'll tell you some recaps. It's just that I'm really happy for Debbie. And I've also will in the podcast, I double down and will like die on a hill that I think that Natalie, since Anfisa is never gonna come back, my favorite cast member. Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna say it now. Natalie's my favorite. Natalie's my favorite. I want to see her. I'm interested when she's on. I'm happy about it. Okay? Oh, so I don't care what people say. I don't care if you hate her. Like, you can listen. I don't hate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll tell you who I hate: Angela, Big Ed. Like, I don't need to see them anymore. Like, truly not. And I don't care if like Natalie's crazy. That's part of the equation. There's a certain balance, right, of what we want to see in our reality show 90 Day characters. Obviously, being somewhat crazy is a little part of it. Like, it's because you gotta be a little crazy. I mean, to like be on TV and to let your lives be shown and to be so natural on camera and to like whatever it is, make good TV, which is bad choices on TV, as well as like, you know what Natalie does that I will. Natalie says the base ego thing that's on her mind. And we'll just say it. Oh, Mike, for Mike, I am legendary woman. For Mike, oh no, I am like the hottest person he's ever seen. Are you kidding with Mike? I mean, oh my God, I'm a goddess. He'll never touch another woman as hot as him. But for Josh, but for Mike, I am. It, like I just, I you just there's some things she'll say and do and just, like, get upset about and say, like, that I just, like, am happy for. Like, I'm happy during the tell-all when she tells Veronica's, like, weird dude that she dated during the time that, like, tried to, like he, like, boned her and then was like, "I'm gonna move," you know, that guy? When she was like, "Why would you ask her to move? Like, what mature, normal woman would do that?" And just, like, absolutely true. Like, I fucking love listen, I like her. I like her. Okay, so I think the thing is, there's something about Eastern European women who A, get my traditional gender role, diatribe, but also B, will just say what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, I just loved it. I just like it's so blunt, I guess. Yes, Jessica, like, there's something about them, like, like, I haven't been raised that way to just say that kinda stuff, but, like, they can, plus, like, like, they feel whatever way about them. Um Okay, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for, like, being here and agreeing. Hi, dog trainer. Hi, Lisa. Hi, AK. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Shay. Hi, hot cocoa bang bang. Okay, so truly I can't believe I have to go through 3 episodes. Okay, so who do you want to okay, so we'll just start with Jenny and Sumit. Okay. Jenny and Sumit in episode 4 have the thing where they like just like so back behind, like Christina and Jen are even there. I'm gonna start crying. It's so funny. I'm all over the place. You're seeing someone who, by the way, who Ubered home from a very like a very fun dinner that was also very late, and I just drank so much wine. I'm so late. And I'm also like going through emotional things of just like feeling whatever. And so I'm all over the place. And I hope that you are too. So God bless. And I have a fucking workout class at like 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's 9:37 p.m. Oh, God bless. God sex. God sex is what I said. God bless is what I meant. Sex would be great. God's also great. If you can find someone who believes in both and will be with you, it'd be great. If only, from God's lips to my lips. Whew. Anyway, so at this point, Jenny and Sumit in episode 4 of Stand By Me, as it starts, are working with a Bollywood choreographer. Oh, no, sorry. I'm sorry, my loves. Christina and Jen are here. They do a Bollywood class, which looks really fun. This is one of the best scenes of the like very adventurous Jenny and Sumit season we had. I feel like this whole season has been them just doing like adventure stuff, like from the zip lining to like the Kama Sutra to like the Bollywood. It's just been them like going on Groupon dates. Feels like Groupon dates, or just like I don't know. Like, remember Groupon? I don't think it even exists anymore. But like I've always okay, so one other fucking shitty thing about today, and I'm so sorry, is that Twitch died, right? Twitch of that stupid Ellen show, which I hate because that bitch sucks, but whatever. I know Twitch because of So You Think You Can Dance, because I loved So You Think You Can Dance, because I love dance, right? He was a fucking star in that show, and I remember him and Allison, like, I remember before they knew each other, like, it's been a minute. So, like, to years later, when this man was seemingly so joyous and so inspirational, truly take his life, I think has been really shitty for me today. Not me, everyone. Okay, but I don't want to speak for everyone, but it feels like probably for everyone, but I will say for me because he was really joyous. Even if he worked for the cunt. I hated it. I hate that bitch. I do. But like I never hated I love Twitch. I love Allison. They had like a beautiful family together. Like they have this craft together, this beautiful art where they can move their bodies with breath and movement in such a way. And I am so what a beautiful soul that must have been in probably either a lot of pain or something else we don't know. And I think it's also really s- that shit's been hard. I really loved Twitch. Isn't that great? I loved him. Anyway, Um, Bollywood dance is something that so you think you can dance would, like, somewhat feature sometimes, and you would see the contestants do it. Bollywood dance always looked really fun. So in this segment, they have a Bollywood choreographer teaching them how to dance, and, um, they're, like, doing a good interesting job. Jenny's doing a job, sometimes Jenny, like, acts like she can't do shit, and she is, like, over it all, and then sometimes Jenny, like, puts in the old heave hove? Wait, the old he hove. No, wait. Put in the old he my loves, what do you say? Heave hove. Heave ho? No, it's heave ho. That's what it is. Put okay, so she does, and Sumit acts like he thinks that he's a really good dancer. Like he's like, oh, I've been doing this. Like, I'm like Indian. Like, so this is like normal, like, like this kind of stuff. And it's like, I want to be like, Sumit, you're not that great. You're not that good. I'm actually surprised how not good you are. Only because in my mind, it's like, don't you move a lot? Like, don't you like do like a lot of yoga? You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you like more rhythmic? Like I don't know, he's just not that great. So, but it's another fun activity. And heave ho. I love that you guys are just like, it's heave ho, you ho. You know what? I like who do I think I am? Like Jay-Z. I'm like heave hove. I don't know what I mean. So yeah, Sumit's saying that he used to dance in the Bollywood clubs or whatever. Like, I wanna be like, what is in your mind the way you looked at that time? And I wish we saw video of what you looked at that time. I can't imagine it looked better than what it was now. Are you telling me you're so out of shape? You're like 30 nothing. Get back to work. Um, so he tells Christina and Jen at that time that he's going to have to go meet his family. And they're like, why? And he like does the thing where he's like, I gotta keep trying. They hate me so much. They hate me because of your mother, like because literally because I've just decided to be with your mother. They hate me so much. And I just keep trying to be with both your mother and them. And, it's not worked. And Christina, is like, you know what? Why don't we all go? And submits to that idea, which is a horrible idea. But because of the producers or whatnot, or who knows, he says that he has to, or he says yes. Now, who's going to show up? We don't know. Well, we'll find out. But it's interesting that Christina has like, well, we're going to meet him. We should meet him. We're going to meet him. We're coming. Like, it's like, like she really invites herself. Now, of course, she wants to make sure that her mom's okay, and she wants to come to India and do all the work that she can there to make sure that, like, her mom is, like, taken care of and she doesn't, feel like her mom is alone, which, I also get that. I think that Christina's an only child, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's hard when you think that, as an only child that you have to make sure that your parents are taken care of. And if your parents are not together, especially then there's two then that are not accounted for. So they better buddy up. You know what I'm saying? So and it's not that Jenny has just buddied up. She has buddied up but like in a whole ass different country, where like and she's a white woman in India. So Christina feels in such a way that she wants her older, aging mom, seasoned, I guess is the word that I choose to say when I have the wherewithal, to be secure in the knowledge that she has a whole ass family of her betrothed to also watch out for her that are Indian and that like will like like know the lay of the land or whatever. But she knows that she doesn't have that. She just literally has to admit. So Christina, alongside the producers, would really love this scene to happen, and us. So that's what happens. She says that they should come. Sumit can't say no because he's legally obligated to contractually working the scenes of the show. And then, my love, what happens next in episode 15? That's how we should do it. I'm just going to go back and forth I'm going to go every couple between between the 3 episodes. So, no, they're not in episode 15. We never see them. We don't see them, my loves. Oh, yeah, we do. Just kidding, I lied. Um, I'm not 100% there, and we'll get to that. But Jenny and Sumit, okay, so then they all meet in episode 5. And episode 5, my babes, is called Battlefield. So in Battlefield, they arrive. They're early. Sumit's family, late. Who comes? That daughter-in-law with the green contacts, her betrothed, which of course is Sumit's brother, Sumit's dad, and last time, of course, we definitely met Sumit's aunt, and she is not there, nor is the mom. And Christina says that Sumit has to prove to Christina and Jen that he is a good husband. And by that, Christina means that if shit comes to blows, like she wants to see Sumit stand up for her mom, which I mean in the many seasons that we've seen in this show, we've never seen because it's never happened. Christina's never seen it. She'll never see it, which is probably why she wants to pretend to try and see it, but she'll never see it because he's never done it. Because he'll never pick Jenny over his parents ever. He won't pick America over his parents. He won't pick America over India. He won't pick Jenny over his parents. He won't pick his parents less than anyone. Okay, that's what it is. But let's move on. So, um, Sumit is also worried that that Jenny's daughter Christina and Jen, might talk back to his parents. And his parents aren't like the talking back to. It's a whole ass different religion, culture, and like you don't talk back to elders or, as I say, more seasoned people. Which is also weird because I guess kind of you do because they have no problem talking back to Jenny, who is more seasoned than all of them. But of course, there's the hierarchy of the family. I mean, they're just like, I mean, it's a whole, I mean, this is crazy. So, okay. So basically, they all sit down and it's not comfortable. It's very tense. It's very awkward. Sumit's mom is not there. And Sumit's dad explains why, which is this notion that Sumit's mom is so emotionally devastated by the marriage, coupled with the mental anguish and harassment from family and friends that it has gotten her to be sick. And the word sick or like ill. And you know how like those words can be like a lot of different things. Like you can be like you can have like a stomach, like if I'm saying I'm like sick, you're like, oh, are you like or are you like your tummy, you ate something? Are you like going through it mentally? Like what there's so many things, right? She's not there because she's like just can't deal. She doesn't she just like is just she's gone. It feels like if they make it seem like she is just crying on a linoleum floor, So Christina really tries to make eye contact as if that was the thing and appeal to the soul of Sumit's dad when she's like, please forget everything that you've been saying and want and care about and how you feel about certain things. Just open your heart to the love that Jenny and Sumit has. And then Sumit's dad looks over at Jenny, who's like, and Sumit, who's like, they don't feel it. They can't. They're not open to the love of Jenny and Sumit. They can't believe it. I actually can't believe that Sumit's parents allow themselves to be on the show or have ever been on the show or have ever signed the contract of their names and faces being on the show. Like, that's what's weird about it to me. Like, that's what the only moment of distinction is that if you feel like this is sincerely incredibly embarrassing to you and so out of the norm and you can't ever accept it, and it's just people are talking shit about you, then why the Are you on the show? Because this show is called 90 Day Fiancé. And fiancé is a word in English that if you Google translate it means person I'm gonna marry, about to marry, betrothed, marriage. Doesn't mean girlfriend, doesn't mean fuck boy or whatever, like, but you have on multiple seasons signed a contract with your name or you have written it to be on the show with your faces. So what part of it really is so intense for you now that they've gotten married? All your friends know that you've allowed yourself to be on a television show that's a, like, juggernaut, and I don't even get it because it's like Sumit's parents are not famous. It's like, what in your life is like, you've never been on it? Like, I can't imagine that anyone in Sumit's fucking parents' lives have ever been on a situation or in a vehicle that is remotely as famous as 90 Day Fiancé. And it's shitty reality TV, but I am sorry. And if I'm gonna like, they're in the middle of India. I don't really wanna I know David and Annie for being on the show because they got to be lovely people that reached out to me, whatever, I got to, like, meet them after they were on the show, right? I don't know anyone on the show. Of course, I know somewhat famous people, but I also, like, have grown up in America and I, like, live in Los Angeles. I'm not saying that Sumit's parents want to be famous. I'm not saying that they care about famous people. But what I'm telling you is they have the wherewithal that they've been on a show this entire time. They've signed their fucking name on it called 90 Day Fiancé. So at this point, what are you like also like, "We can't accept it." Then don't accept it, don't be on the show. Just be like, "You can't accept it, you don't believe in it, you just never will be around them." But you have, like, multiple seasons filmed yourself with this old ass seasoned white woman with, like, a, "Well, Jeremy, you've seen you" I mean, come on. Anyway, here we are. I'm just, like, in a mood, okay? I don't get it. So she won't come. They're like that. Christina's like, "Will you please open your heart? Please open your heart to the fact that your son loves this woman and this woman is my mom and I love my mom and I love your son. Will you open your heart to the fact that you at one point loved your son and this is who your son has chosen for 10 fucking years and not only chosen her, tried to choose her as a fucking catfish and then lied to her that he was married, but he was married and then she had to come and then find out that he was married and then you all like ran into their house like sh I mean, whatever you want to say about my mom, but your also fucking fuckface son put her through it. So like, what are you talking about? Like, at some point, like, it's a moot point. You've already embarrassed your own friends, your own family by being on the show talking to your stupid son. Like, all your neighbors should be like, "Well, we already know that your son is, like, fucking a 79-year-old because, like, you saw your faces on it when you talked to her," you know? Like, they can't even be like, "Was that your son?" And then like, "We don't know. We don't know what son," you know? Like, "We saw your stupid faces on it." So, like, what are we even discussing? Is everything fake? Anyway, so, um Sumit's dad's like, "Well, we're not gonna open our hearts. We can't accept it. Turns out we can't accept it. We will just keep showing up to tape, and that one will keep putting her green contacts in. She has her 1-800 contact subscription. Don't worry." So she has, them on speed dial. She keeps getting them. So she'll keep showing up to whenever you want her to be here. But no, that mom, she picks and chooses. And me, meh, hmm, I'll be here. It's like it's okay. So then Jenny is like, okay, so then Jenny's like, "Look, I've, like, hinted with this with Sumit, but I'm going to checkmate them." Now, this would have worked, I think, really great, and it would have been mildly different if Sumit's mom came out. But Jenny's like, "Alright, never gonna accept me, never gonna like me, never gonna think it's okay that he got married to me? Alright, okay. Well, since I have a whole ass family that, like, love and accept me and Sumit, I guess there's no other choice then for us to move to America." And Sumit's like, "Oh shit. No, this is not the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to know. I wanted to tap dance, honey." No, Sumit's thing's like my whole thing is tap dancing. No, I don't like what you're doing, which is rough arming, strong arming. Jenny wants to force his move to be like, Sumit, you're really gonna leave? I can't just have my son leave. Let me talk about it with the mom, or let me see what I can do. Like, but Sumit's dad's just like, you think you're gonna move? Sumit's like, Jenny's like, yes, yes. Sumit's brother's like, you're really thinking about moving, Sumit? Sumit's like, boo. Like, Christina's like, they're moving. Nope, it's happening already. And then, like, yeah, Sumit's dad's like, okay, well, okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, Sumit, of course, is surprised that Jenny said that they're going to go to America. But what he also, it's very telling what happens next. Sumit's dad, and this is now going to be in technically this part of the scene happens in episode 16 called Wrecking Ball. Sumit's dad is like, you have always chosen whatever this is what he, by my own, like, Chris Farrism. You've done whatever the fuck you wanted to do. Whatever ease, whatever comfort you wanted to do, from one moment to the next, you have strived for nothing. You have worked for nothing. You don't ever put any sort of like effort and or work behind anything. You just take the easiest, dumbest, cheapest, most undignified route possible. And you have your whole life. So I'm not surprised that now you're just going to slink away to America with your old wife slash reality star, but whatever. This is like Sumit's dad who's like, thinks whatever he does. It feels like this conversation is so a father disappointed in his son. Because listen, I love ease and I love comfort to a damning degree, okay? To a damning degree. It's unfortunately one of the things that I think men have this thing where they are forced to grind because it's the men code. You'll provide and you will be a hustler. You'll get what you need. And Sumit obviously is not someone who wants to put a lot of effort into getting something that is something that will A, make him proud, and B, speak of his stature to society. You can say whatever you want about that, but that's true. That's what Sumit's dad is saying. He feels like Jenny was the easiest possible bird to catch. And that's not true. Sumit had a catfisher. But, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that Sumit's dad's right, but that's what Sumit's dad thinks. Sumit's dad thinks that like Sumit just has gone through life being the laziest fucking asshole that's with an old ass woman because it's the easiest, choice to get because he doesn't have to like do the things that he would have to do to get like a young hot woman, which is probably like ascertain some sort of level in like a job or career that like affords him some sort of like discretionary income to date, have fun, show off, whatever it is, right? Maybe. I mean, this is me putting this on, but what do you guys think? I'm funny tonight? I love you guys. Veronica. It's way too old. I don't get it. I mean, yeah, Simon's mom would say the same thing. So old, so odd, in my opinion. I I wish they would, especially when I love you so much. I wish they would just like. I kind of wish they would talk about like sexual shit. Like, I want Sumit to just be like, I've always liked older women. Man, I watched Mrs. Robinson growing up, or I had this teacher that was like hot, or like older women. They make me feel comfortable. I've dated younger women before, they suck. I want them to, like, say I don't know. So, it's just that they I guess they have a comfortable energy with each other is the only thing I feel like that binds them together, because he wants to work and she wants to stay home, and it's that they do feel comfortable together. I'll give it to them. Like, when they're together, it feels comfortable. They, like, joke around. It's kind of like they're friends that also fuck. I cannot. She broke his belly button doing cowgirl. Oh my god. It's interesting because Sumit's dad thinks that they have 2 years on them, shelf life, expiration date, 2 years. They've been together 10 years. It's Is that it? Like, what do you guys think? Like, sometimes I think, like, okay, there's parts of it where I'm like, I get it, because why? Because he's gonna realize he wants to go back to work, and she, like, doesn't wanna ever, like, move again because she's, like, done moving because she's, like, on death's door. It's just like it's just I guess it is fascinating. So, um, Christina wants so badly to make a dent in the impasse, to, like, make some sort of bridge, and she cannot. And Jen, her girlfriend, sort of just sits there and watch all of this happens. Sumit is worried that the brother will bring up adoption. So later on, they all go to a palace, the day after their families meet. And they talk about what they should do. They talk about whether they should adopt a child or whether they should move to America. And one point of contention is that Sumit's very much like, I never want to move to America. No, I don't want to give up my family and friends. He says that in a confessional. And Jenny has done all that, has done it, has done the very same thing that you say you refuse to do. She did it, and look how it turned out. Your family is whatever they are. So now what she's saying is, like, I tried it your way. If this is a two-way street and we're in a relationship, you should be open to trying it my way. And he will not at all. Regardless of the fact that America is the country in which produces the reality show that they're on. So crazy. Um Jenny says this. I loved Sumit so much that I did. I moved. I moved to India. I gave up everything because the love was bigger than the fear. And I feel like that moment showcases how truly scared, fearful, tiny, weak Sumit is. If that And I guess it is a negative thing, okay? But my ultimate idea of Sumit, after all of these watchings of him, is that he is weak. A very weak man. Does every man have to be strong? No. Does every person have to be strong? No. Does it behoove women to be strong? Yes. Does it behoove men to be strong? Yes. Does it behoove people to have a backbone and be strong? Yes. He is a weak man. Tiny, small, in self-identity. so wanting of, like, mommy's opinion. But, like, it's just if I was to be honest, and maybe I'm just, like, in a state right now, with his type personality, it's no wonder why not a lot of younger women that are whatever, people of his around him would wanna be with him after seeing what his personality is. It's not someone you'd wanna be with, I think, for most modern, mature, like, with it women. What modern woman would want that? Is like as Natalie would say. Um, I get the feeling Sumit doesn't wanna be with her anymore. All of a sudden, he wants to go adventuring, working, and having kids. Like, he's like he's trying to, like, weasel his way out because he is so weak that I don't even think that he would actually, like, be even like, he reminds me of someone who, like, wouldn't be able to break up with someone. He would rather the person break up with him because I think he's weak. How would he even combat it? How would he even be, like, have a conversation? Um, okay. I'm sorry, my nose is, like, itchy, itchy, itchy. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. Wait. Yeah, we did it. First couple down. Let's move back to episode 14 and move on with our lives. Episode 14, babes. And next couple is Andrei and Libby. So it starts off in this episode, which is episode again 14, with Andre and Libby meeting with Becky and Buki, Libby's sisters, which is like Jen and Becky, to talk about the fact that Libby had announced her pregnancy in a social media post without telling the family, with like a group text or nothing. And not only that, Libby then got mad at them for having had seen it and liked it or whatever the fuck they did and not like directly texting her about it. And then decides to bring her like loud ass, angry ass, like domineering husband to this meeting when he already has like issues and he should be home taking care of the baby. Or isn't his dad still in town? Like, what? Okay, but here we are. They all go to like some place and they talk about this thing and like, they're like upset and like they're upset and they're all upset and they like get drinks. Then like Andre yells at Becky and then Becky yells at Andre. She like tries to hit him or something like that. But then like Becky breaks down and is basically like, why don't you fucking tell us? You should have fucking tell us. Made us feel sad. And then like Libby's like, so sorry we didn't tell you. And then like, but Andre's still upset because he never should have been there in the first place. I hate it when men insert their large noses and their big feet and their like penises in our female business. Get the fuck out of this scene. You shouldn't be here. This is between Libby and her goddamn sisters. Learn your place. Get in the fucking business room. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn your place, man. And the man is in like the office, not dealing with the women's business, which is women dealing with their sisters, and how you have no place talking to these women. What's wrong with you? Those aren't your sisters. Let the sisters do their sistering and you take care of the baby or make money, one of them. But instead, he has the audacity to be like, I make whatever, $100,000 a year. And the fuck he says, it's some bullshit. Like he makes so much money, thousands of dollars a year. And all I kept thinking of is, Andre, if you made that much goddamn money in the actual real estate and that you're TikToking and Cameo, which is great that you do, no shade, but at the same time, it affords you a lot of luxury that making that money in that kind of way, which is having to be able to show up to this sister lady lunch that you shouldn't even be at. Get the fuck out of here. You're so dumb. You're so hot. Bookie's there. I have to tell you about Bookie. Andre's hair in the confessionals during this time looks like a 1950s like greaser. Like he looks like Danny Zuko. He looks like he's about to be like grease lightning up a thing, like it's very like he's gonna wear like a white t-shirt and like roll up his cigarettes in like the sleeve. It's like very greased. I don't understand it. There's this talk of them going to therapy, and Libby's like, excited about that, but like no one understands what therapy is. And so like Andre's version of like going to the therapy is like, well, I'll go to therapy. If they start talking shit, I'm gonna like not you're gonna like fuck, like it's like no, you're gonna like if he starts talking shit, you will sit there and listen. And you'll wait for the therapist to then call on your name and to express yourself in a better way that makes A him look bad, but also B makes you look good. Because you can sit, hear, sit with, respond with breath, which I think is like on a very basic level, the problem. People don't respond with breath, patience, and having absorbed. People are highly reactive and people are very defensive. People don't listen and people drink. so, so, um, They go stroller shopping, Andrei and Libby. It's super boring. It's like green card shit. So I don't even tell you this fucking green card bullshit. It's so dumb. It's like I don't even want to. It's just like dumb. Like he just thinks that like one of her family members is gonna like is like calling this ICE to like get him to be deported, which whatever. And I think that it's just like producer banter to try and get us to like be obsessed with Family Day Libby, and I refuse. Did you hear me? They weren't in episode 15. And then in episode 16, the one that just happened, this is the one that just happened. So they all go to like, Libby's dad's house, which is like Happy's house. And we think at this point, we're like, oh yeah, okay. So like this is the point where they go to like see the therapist. Like, that's what's gonna happen in this episode. Cause like we haven't seen the last episode, but like, no, that's not what's gonna happen in this episode. They go to Happy's house. And then, like Happy is Chuck. And then, Chuck is happy, ha ha ha, because he met someone. He met someone. He's a cancer survivor. He met someone who's also a cancer survivor. They met online. That's very suspect. What was it? Was it Hinge? Was it like, and what was it? Was it Instagram? Was it Match? Was it like eHarmony? Ugh, I hate online dating. And it works for Chuck. Well, so I guess he like, hasn't dated anyone like since like Libby's mom, like Pam, like, she took everything from him. Ha ha ha. And this one is this woman. And so this is where things really deteriorate and where I get mad at this point because I want to be like, producers, do you think I'm fucking dumb? Do you think I'm gonna sit here and believe that and just like said the way it said, which is just so matter of fact? You can't even give me like some backstory to get to the unbelievable thing you want me to believe, which is the following. Chuck is like, hey guys, Andrei and Libby, like, thanks for coming to my house and like letting your daughter like play in my pool and like it's really cute and stuff like that. And like, you're gonna be pregnant more, but like, I met this girl, we talked about her. You know what would make me feel good as your dad? Is to take Andre's joking suggestion and go on a double date with this girl I've never met, and you both, my daughter and her foreign Mongolian husband. And Chuck's like, yeah, I can't wait. It'll really help me. And Libby's like, that sounds crazy, but okay. Like, what? I have to like you can't even why not just give some more backstory? Like Chuck be like, I'm really, really nervous. And I can't you even lie to me, be like, this is so random, but she's Moldovan. She's actually 1/4 Moldovan. Her she's Aunt Moldovan. She's aunt is from Moldova. Or something where you can then be like, so maybe you guys should just stop by the date. Like, don't go on a double date, but like, what if you just stopped by? You could still have the exact same scene, but like, it doesn't make sense to like double date with your dad. Like, and I am telling you that, and like, if you know me, You know that I have a very nice, close relationship with my dad. He raised me. He's a single dad. And my whole life, I'll never go on a double date with my dad. I would go on I mean, like, listen, if my dad's dating someone, which she's has before, while I'm dating someone who's my boyfriend, of course, we would go on like to go get dinner or something if we were all whatever. But like, I in my entire fucking life would never go on a date with my dad if I was just meeting someone, nor would I ever go on a first date of my dad having just met someone. I would rather kill myself. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just like drown myself in this water, or look, I got like some of these silica packets, the ones that like come in things where it says don't eat them. I'd rather eat two of them, like I'll swallow them right now. I can't even imagine. Like, that's bananas. I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. And I'm not dumb. And how dare you think I'm so dumb? I'm so thirsty. Um, I can't believe I can't believe Libby did do a Christmas album this year. I think she missed a market. No, she missed something. I mean, if she also because by the time we've seen this, and by the way, we've already like we're in episode whatever 14, 15, 16. Like, remember when she was in the voice lessons? Like, feels like so long ago. And the voice lessons were so long ago. Like, if she had those voice lessons like 7 episodes ago, that means that those voice lessons happened like a year ago. What the fuck has she been doing? Yeah, she's pregnant, but like, get a voice note open and just like sing something. Sing something. I have hiccups. I I get hiccups all the time. Um, no matter if I'm drinking, I truly get hiccups all the time when I'm eating. Because often when I eat, I like talk, and I just like I don't know whatever it's like. You're breathing in like air, and like it's getting stuck in your diaphragm. I just hiccup all day long. It's like I'm a drunk mouse. Is dad auditioning for Single Life? No. Okay. Okay. So, but they do. But they do. They go on this date. Okay. So, where's the date? Benihana. Now, I love Benihana. I love a hibachi. Like, I love that kind of shit. Like, I think it's fun. I love meat. I love meat over open flame. I love many things over open flame, but like, it's fun. And there's like a show. I like dinner on a show. I love dinner theater. It's like, it's crazy what they do with the knives. Um, and it's fresh, that part's fun. And I like Asian food. So that all part is great. And so I don't go enough. I watched it and I remember being like, well, where is the nearest Benihana? Maybe you should get on it, Chris. When was the last time you went? I think the last time I went to a Benihana was like in Hawaii. There's a Benihana in Waikiki in Oahu at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in their little like offshoot village. And the Hilton Hawaiian Village is like a 4-star hotel in Oahu, which is nice. It's nice. I like it a lot. It's my dad's like one of my dad's favorite places to go. And I only say 4-star because it's nice. It's for sure nice, but like it's my dad's like dream paradise. Um it's a family hotel. So it's like a little older. It's a little older family hotel, but there's a lot of like pink flamingos everywhere, and there's a rainbow tower, and on Friday nights they have fireworks. And there is like a little neighboring market village, and in the market village there is a Benihana, and it's so good. And another part in the village is kind of like these macadamia cookies, almond macadamia, like shortbread, macadamia shortbread cookies. Some of them are dipped in chocolate or vanilla or different flavors like pumpkin spice. They couldn't be yummier. They couldn't be more indulgent. Ah, they're like little biscuit cookies. Truly to die for. So, also there is they make, in that same thing, in this is where it can get you. They also make waffles, like fresh waffle cones for ice cream, and it smells really, really, really great, the waffle cones. So, like, if you do that, I get it, but if you don't do that, the real winner is those cookies. Um, So basically, at Benihana, unfortunately, Chuck's date, maybe having being told that it was now a double date with his daughter, decided to try and exit out of this scenario as gracefully as this person could, which in this day and time means the passive aggressive COVID excuse. Oh, I got COVID. No, it's crazy. I got COVID. It's tested. COVID can't come. COVID. Yeah, COVID. So COVID, you can't question it. COVID. Bye, COVID. All day long, COVID. I couldn't talk to you. COVID. No, sorry, I didn't text you back. COVID. I was in COVID town. So COVID. Yeah, like she texts him like 30 minutes into the date that she's not gonna be there because of COVID, and says that she couldn't text him before because she was at the clinic all day because COVID. Now, here's the thing. If this was 2020, that would be really, really, um, poignant and horrifying, my god. But in 2022, we just take no swaps, and we know that we have COVID, like, in 2 seconds. We don't need to we're not in a infirmary for, like, all day long figuring it out. You know you have it, you text someone. Anyway, so I was feeling really bad for Chuck, but I'm just also surprised because I was just like also just surprised that this woman canceled because the producers called her and were like, "Hey, so Chuck, the person, that you wanna go on a date and is, like, actually on a show, would you mind coming and film your date for the show? And we're gonna have to, like, give you the contracts, and this show's called 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Have you ever heard of it? It's kind of a big deal." This girl, whoever she is, like, either like, "Oh, really? Is that what it's called? Never heard of it." Meanwhile, the whole time, like, "That's why I started talking to Chuck online, bitch, I knew." Or like, "Oh, oh, let me think about it. I don't really wanna meet. I don't wanna go online. I don't wanna be on TV with this fucking no, I don't wanna do it. No. I feel awkward, so it's like, should I not do it? I don't know what to do. Let me just put it off until the moment of I don't know, like, what do you think the actual answer is? Because if she didn't want it's so interesting. I just don't believe that anyone's going to cancel during the date. How? Unless literally unless literally it's like this, "Oh my god. I'm 30 minutes away and I left my house and my car blew up and my phone also blew up, so I cannot call an Uber or a Lyft and my car is also gone. I'm calling you from my friend's phone and that person, it's not a smartphone, so I'm literally calling from a dial-up, so that's why I can't Uber from my friend's phone." Like, there's, like, almost, like, hardly any excuse because you could Venmo your friend for an Uber. You could do so many things to get there, Anyway, so I gotta get on. Do you guys like Benihana? What do you guys isn't that kind of fun? You know what is also kind of fun? Fogo de Chao. Do you have a Fogo de Chao by you? Fogo de Chao is like Argentinian, like grilled meats. So instead of like Asian grilled meats, it's like, you know, Brazilian maybe like grilled meats. It's like still steak, which is great. As long as it's steak. If it's like charred steak, I will eat whatever. I had it tonight. Um, Bye, dog trainer. The Benihana they held in a Hawaiian village is gone? What? No. Are you no. No. The Benihana in SF has the worst reviews. Yeah, I go. Okay. Well, Kim and Usman. Wow, what a couple. So, my God, big couple, big things, a lot of happen. So, in episode 14, God, it's been back. We pick up with Kimberly after she came back from the first time with Usman, and we find out that my God, her mom died. Okay, 6 weeks after she figured out that her mom passed. So it's 6 weeks after when we pick up from her. 2 weeks after she came back from seeing Usman the first time, her mom passed. Okay, and that's like really horrible, really sad. She mentions missing her mom's gardenia perfume and, like, cuddling in bed with her, and I felt so bad for Kimberly, you know? And then at this point, we Jamal enters the scene, and now it's all Jamal. It's Jamal, Jamal, Jamal. So Jamal's there. Like grandma died. He's there. Like Kimberly's upset. Like, who do I take care now of Usman? She wants to like, get the Usman thing happening because she has a hole in her heart. So, she also talks about the fact that her mom loved Usman and did she? Did she? Okay. Um Kimberly and Jamal talk about the fact that Usman, during Kimberly's mom's passing, has been incredibly supportive. I mean, like, always there for her. Like, and it was I guess in a way in which he was calling a lot. I mean, obviously, he can't come, so he's calling and FaceTiming or maybe texting her a lot and asking questions. It must be the asking questions. "Hey, baby, how are you doing? Hey, baby, how are you doing? Call me out." Like, how would this is a good question. Like, yeah, how does someone from long distance show up for someone emotionally enough for that person and a loved one of that person's to comment on it? "Hey, babe. Call me after, tell me how everything went. Hey, babe, how are you feeling? I just wanted to check up on you. Hey, babe, here's like sending flowers, sending that, like, like, what is it? They're both so like, I mean, they're both, I guess, specifically Jamal seems to be surprised by Usman's care of his mom during this time. And I almost wish there was more examples of that. So then Jamal and Kimberly go to lunch, and it's like a lunch of like flavors of East Africa, which of course, Usman is West African. Jamal gets to try the food, and Kimberly's really like into kind of like showing Jamal that she knows a little bit of what's up, because she's been there and whatnot. Um, Also, tells Jamal what Usman has come up with as a remedy to their challenge. Their challenge being the fact that Usman needs to have a child to carry on his bloodline, and Kimberly can no longer have children. And in order for that to happen, previously they had spoken of having a second wife, but that, of course, when speaking to American custom agents or whatever it is, not customs, visa people, that the American visa people were like, "Oh, guess what? Illegal, totally illegal in America. Can't do it. So can't do it." And Usman then is like, "Okay, well, Mohammed, my older brother, the one that I like, not that other one, Farouk, who I don't like, Mohammed, the one I do like, has this son, and I could adopt him." And in my culture, it happens all the time. And the way that I guess, like, isolate or define blood or bloodlines is that, any my brother's son is my son, could be my son, is my brother's, my blood. Um, Kimberly is like, "That's something? That's something?" And she brings it up to Jamal, like, "That sounds crazy." Now, mm, that definitely happens in America, so it's not super, super crazy. And what I really wondered was, Kimberly, this entire season, you've been so upset over, like, the second wife thing. Somewhat wondering if the second wife would be, like, younger or prettier, being upset the second wife, like, might live with his parents or where his family lives. You at first wanted her to live only, like, some other place where her family lives, or being upset that, like, the children that would be between your husband, Usman, and this woman might come and visit you, or she might come visit you? That was so abhorrent to you that the fact that this man comes to you with this option, which is he's just going to take his brother's son. He's not gonna make a son with no woman would be, like, in his life besides, I mean, maybe his, I don't know, like, his brother's wife, but probably not, like, that would have to go through the brother more, like, suddenly that's not even a fucking factor and you're not ecstatic? She acts like this at first is, like, really, really horrible and weird and, like, what she's being put through for this. Now here's the thing, you have to know who you're gonna be with, what their religion is, what their culture is, whatever. Does Kimberly have to, for the rest of her life, raise a baby? No, of course not. No, of course not. She's already has a whole ass kid. But is Kimberly deciding to be with Usman? Yes. Are certain things in Usman's life? Yes. What's in Usman's life? His very, very successful music career, his culture, and his faith. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So, Jamal doesn't probably love the idea of his mom, like, having a whole other kid. He's, like, almost a little, like, butthurt by it, a little, like, whiny about it. But the other side of it is, like, Kimberly can't raise a child for the rest of her life. Like, she, like, walking hurts a little bit for Kimberly, that's obvious, and so, like, it's gonna be hard for her to, like, run after a kid, you know? And I don't know what Usman's gonna provide in the context of parental raising. Who will be running around with him and who will be I mean, there's just a lot to raising a child, of course, and I wouldn't know, I never had one, but I even know how hard it is and who I haven't had one yet by myself because seems like it's hard. And, yeah, I don't know what the division will be. I think on the podcast, which was a couple of episodes ago, I think I said that I thought that Usman would do nothing. But now that I think about it, maybe Usman would come to America and enjoy the fact that he had a little son who was reminiscent of him and a part of his life and a part of his culture and soul, and maybe he could do daddy style stuff with this little boy that would be very parental. I think that he would be parental. I just think that when it comes to a lot of the day-to-day activities of keeping this child alive, of like, and also, like, not even the child alive, but just the day-to-day semantics. Signing the papers for the school and when the school is gonna go on the break and when the field trip is and what the lunch is and putting the money in here and making it's like all of that is like, like, I don't know if Usman's gonna be able to do that. Usman can't work technically if he comes to America for, like, 6 months. Now, that's always interesting because we know that being like, oh, someone can't come to America and, like, work for 6 months in America, but, like, if you are an international superstar and you're making royalties, that money's just there, right? Now, because we're even more in the world of 90 Day Fiancé, I wanna be like, I remember when the Eve Muhammad thing blew up, and I remember reading in, like, something like those text messages that he had with that woman that he was cheating on Eve with, where he was discussing it's like, if they're here in America and have an American address and they make money from Cameo, I don't know how they get the money or if they get if they have to have a Social Security number or if that money then goes to the other person and then that person has to then give them that money or hopefully give them half that money. You know what I'm saying? It's always very confusing. Back to Kim and Usman. So then Kimberly and Jamal decide that they're gonna go back to Nigeria. Kimberly's gonna meet Mahadi, who is the boy that, of course, is Muhammad's son that Usman wants to adopt, and Jamal's going to meet Mahadi and, talk to Usman face to face and get it all out there. So we get to Nigeria in Battlefield episode 15, and she is packing. She says they don't have a lot of hangars in Nigeria. Um Kim says it's important for them to meet as she doesn't want to make any more decisions without Jamal's approval. I'm like, it would have to be really, really bad, I think, for you to break up with Usman. It's very hard when it's like, it's always hard when, and I hate to see it. Like, it was like what happened. Okay. It's hard when parents who are single then find someone and it feels like they're going to choose their new flame over their children. And I think the biggest example of that was like Eric and Lida, which is probably the worst season and the worst couple in the history of 90 Day Fiancé that I've ever watched. Like, she's still the biggest villain to me. Her coming into Eric's life with her son and making Eric forego his own flesh and blood daughters and claim her son as his and treat her and her son better in a grossly superior way, not even better, but like in a intrinsically obvious way than his daughters, was too much for me, and I'd spit if I saw them. Like, not on them, but like in like a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, not on them. But like they pass by me, I'd be like, gross. They're gross to me. So Kimberly and them, like, they Uber to the airport, and she's trying to have an open mind, and Jamal doesn't even want to meet the kid, which is awkward and atrocious. And I will tell you, at this moment, I should have started to realize that Jamal wasn't as agreeable to me as I once initially thought he was. So this is whatever episode 15 I'm like into, and I'll go through episode 16. And then, of course, because we're in the world and we have to talk about the world, Jamal made an appearance on Single Life. I won't try to give it away, but he made an appearance in Single Life, right? The tell-alls. And his behavior and his demeanor and his attitude was just what? Gross. Gross. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I didn't think that Jamal had a certain preference for what I guess his preference he wants us to think it is. Jamal has struck me as being very sensitive to women, you know what I'm saying? And then he comes off like a 180 of like this, thou doth protest too much. I don't know. And I mean, wow, I just really went from liking someone to just being like, "Ugh, no, you're not the character for me." So, this is a red flag, though, when he says that he doesn't wanna meet Mahadi, because later on when we meet Mahadi, we're like, "Oh, Mahadi is adorable, and Jamal, you can really kick buckets." Okay, so, it is a life-changing adoption, though, and so, Kimberly wants to know if Usman's gonna help her and, what's gonna happen. Um Kimberly also then, at this point, starts to use Mahadi's name. And when she does, I clock it. Because when you personalize someone, it starts to mean something. To go from saying, like, he wants to adopt his nephew, or he wants to adopt his brother's son, or he wants to adopt a child, to Mahadi, and what that means, I thought was of a certain significance. At the airport, Usman does all the things possible to like make us feel like he's very excited to see him to Kimberly. He's like, like he Kimberly runs up and they hug and they kiss and Jamal's there and Jamal's not excited to see what we're seeing and like he brings dumb things and I don't know. This is like I don't know. I just don't like this very much, but I don't know. Jamal like decides to tell us how he's grossed out by this and he's like going to throw up in his mouth. It's also the first time that he's out of the US, which this is going to be no, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Never mind. Moving on. Um why are you so cocky, Jamal? You haven't seen anything. How can you be so cocky when you haven't seen shit? You're 2 years old. You know the whole world is, like, full of possibility and different lifestyles and cultures. Don't be so fucking cocky all the goddamn time about, like, "Yeah, I'm fucking this person, fucking that person," when you haven't seen shit, dude. You're tiny. Your world's tiny. You're a little fucking fetus. You don't know anything. Oh, God, I'm full of it. Okay, so Kim at one point says she feels like Nigeria is a second home, and I'm like, "Okay, who do you think you are, Angela? What is this, Lagos Travel Inn? Honey, that's Angel's second home." But she's not staying there this season. We're not talking about them. So, then they eat dinner together, and, like, Kim always wants Jamal to, like the food, like culture, Usman wants Jamal to feel at home, but also he also feels like, Jamal doesn't like him, which is true. Jamal's weird to him, and Jamal's also like, but I have to like keep my eye out for my mom. And Usman's like, I am a good person. You don't have to worry about your mom when it comes to me. I've been with her for a year. Like, I wouldn't fuck things up. It's been a year. And that doesn't really mean anything because you can also, like, you don't live in the same place. So even though it's been a year, it's like all you had to do was like see her twice and like text message a couple times and like be on a reality show tell all, like, and you kind of fucked up the tell all. Like, you've already kind of fucked up a couple times because of Zara. So, what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say you have like the best track record when it comes to like in this year proving that you're like the greatest guy. But we have to be on a reality show, so like moving on. Usman then decides to turn the tables and bring them, it for full circle and gift Jamal something. And he's like, I got something for you, Jamal. Close your eyes. And Jamal's like, okay. And then he gives Jamal what? A PlayStation 5. The very thing his mom had given him. Also a computer at the same time. And it was a MacBook, so I think the computer was probably more expensive than the PlayStation 5. Now Jamal, who I'm just gonna guess is like, I don't know, 24, 25. Honey, he acts like this PS5 is a fucking Rolex. He acts like this PS5 he couldn't have imagined that he would get one in his life. And how could Usman get his little hands on one? How much is a PS5? A PS5, I mean, like, how much is a PS5? Is it I a MacBook is like $1,200. That's why I'm like, a PS5 is like what, 400? Is it, MacBook is more expensive. PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5. Oh, it's $500. Well, that's a certain it's expensive. No, it's 500. Well, there's different bundles. How much is that bundle? God, there's so many different fucking count. Oh, it is expensive. Jesus. They can be anywhere from 500 to 1,200. Oh, they're oh, okay, well. I wondered, yeah, this is a great question. Didn't Kim give it to him or gifting much? Yeah, is it the same one? He never opened it? That PS5 wasn't even gift wrapped. Mm. You know what I want? I want a Nintendo Switch. The OLED ones, the Pro ones or whatever. And the only and I want it because I wanna, like, play all the games on it. The only thing about it is it doesn't have Sims. If it had Sims, I'd be so happy, but I'm gonna play all the Mario shit on it. All the Mario Kart, and the Mario Party, and Smash Brothers. Um, okay, so then they go after that, he's so happy, like, he, like, wins him over, like, men are so fickle, you really can buy them. So, they say, like, women are gold diggers, but men are gold diggers. So, especially PS5 diggers, obviously Jamal. So, game diggers. So, then they go and hang out with Usman's friends. They all play this like kind of like section cup archery game. It looked fun, and the boys are being boys. They're like being boysy boys. They're just like touching each other like boys in time. They like each other. I like each other. I think it's fun. So then they drink their like little smoothie drinks after this game. And I just like, I talked about this in the podcast. I don't mean to always I really do talk about different things in the podcast when I do these updates. Will you guys also validate that? Does anyone listen to the podcast of these episodes and then also listen to me then talk about the exact same episode? And although maybe I have some similar points, few and far between, isn't it somewhat amazing that I can like pretty much have hour-long conversations on the same fucking shit without really talking about the same shit? Kind of. But one thing that I brought up because I have a fascination with it is because every time they go to fucking Africa, they always have a yummy fruity drink moment. It's always a yummy fruity drink moment. It's always like they've done something athletic and then they go and talk afterwards and they're sitting down at like a picnic table and it looks like a strawberry banana smoothie or like just like some juice, like icy juice. It's like an icy. It's always like ice is involved in it. God, it looks so sweet and so good every time. It's like always like pink, a pinky color. Ugh, give me one of those drinks. Okay. What is your address? I'll send you one now, my love. Yeah, 349. Yeah, the Chris. You know what? Yeah, for the OLED one, I actually did ask for it for Christmas. I asked for it for Christmas. This is like so dumb. I love my nieces and nephews so much. I have these like nieces and nephews that are so goddamn cute. I play with them all the time. I'm obsessed. And they have one but you can play with it like, from far away. So if I get one and they just move to Arizona, if I get mine, I can play with them. Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. And for Christmas, I got them Mario Party. Mario Party is a very fun party game. Okay, so the last part of Wrecking Ball happens with Kim and Usman because they're on every episode because they're like such a great couple. I mean, could you imagine this whole season without them? By the way, just quick note, look at my hands. I got my nails done. Finally, my Christmas manicure. It's a little oh God. It's like goldy shimmery. I put two different kinds of gold shimmer. It's like white gold snowy tip and gold shimmer on just the very tips. So it would just somewhat shine. Eek. So pretty, right? I liked it. Okay, so this episode starts obviously Kimberly's with Usman and Usman's like, "Babe, my feet are dry. Can you rub lotion on?" And she's like, "No, here it is." She throws it at him. And he's upset by that. And he's upset by it because he thought that she would say yes. And it was obvious that she had before many times. Is it that he just wanted a foot rub and that was his way of saying it? Because, I'm on one tonight, I will tell you that, like, one time I dated, like, a foot fetish person, and I never asked him. Maybe one time I asked him to rub my feet, and you'd be surprised how not into rubbing my feet he was. What? But you like them, just rub 'em. You do one good thing, just but he just, like, wasn't a good massager. Also, it's, like, too much for them. By the way, speaking of foot fetishes, and I'm so sorry, I will stop this in one second, but I won't stop this, but this conversation. Did you watch, House of Dragons? Oh, honey, when that scene happened, honey, it was mildly triggering. So, I might delete this. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so alright, so then after that, they, like, talk a little bit, and basically, Usman lets Kimberly know that they are going to meet with his brother and the brother's wife and Mahadi, which is exactly what Kimberly thought would happen. Except that Usman was like, "And then we will ask them if we can adopt their son." And Kimberly was like, "No, no, no, no. You already did that. I'm already here to, like, pick him up." And Usman was like, "No, no, no. I waited for you to ask him." And Kimberly's like, "Oh my god, now I look fucking insane. Now I look like a crazy ass white woman who's gonna come try and, like, kidnap slash adopt slash steal some beautiful little boy from your country. What? Why? Why didn't you talk to your family before? Why didn't you talk to your family beforehand? I thought you had talked to your family beforehand. I thought you had talked to your family beforehand. What's fucking wrong with you?" And then Usman's like, "No, it's just both of us." And Usman didn't tell her or told her, like, it's, like, very confusing because Kimberly gets very upset what was said and what wasn't said, and what was said in such a way that was obviously dancing around the truth that he didn't want to say, or whether he full out lied, of whether she thought that he had told his brother already or whether he hadn't, and whether he was just like, "No, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell, I thought that you knew that you were coming here to ask." I don't know, it's so weird. So, um, they get in a big ass fight, and then, Usman goes outside. They're staying at the hotel, and Jamal's outside. Lucky. And Jamal and him have a conversation where, they're talking about the kids and everything, and Usman just basically feels like Jamal is, like, too much in his mom's business, and Jamal decides to be on this season for in being in all the business, and wow, I really thought that he was, like, gonna be cool, and I was excited about Jamal in my life, honey, and now that I've gotten, like, more of Jamal, it's too much Jamal. Too much Jamal. No, I can take a little less Jamal. I'd be happy about a little less. I got my fill of him. Um, they go and meet with Muhammad and Muhammad's wife and Mahadi, and th that little boy is one of the most beautiful little boys I've seen in a minute. I couldn't believe, I mean, there's a little boy that Muhammad, like, comes up, he's like, "Mahadi, go run up to Usman, hug him." And this crystal-eyed cherub boy with a gleaming smile and the most beautiful eyes, who sort of kind of looks like Usman mildly in a weird way, runs up to him. And I'm like, my ovaries just like, hark on the bells, sweet silver bells. I've been like, my ovaries are like little drummer boy right now. Little drummer, goodness. I'm in this boy. I'm telling you, this little boy is so cute. I, like, can't even. I just, like, oh my god, of course you wanna adopt him. He's so sweet, he's so cute, but then also at the same time, I'm like, "Muhammad and this mom is not gonna come this little boy. This boy, no, that's an angel, honey. No, can you ask for the other one? She's holding one, just give him that one." I'm not saying the other one isn't cute, but that Mahadi is just an I think that he's just he's just a very special boy, that little Mahadi. I think he's very special. I would not give him up. I could not. Conversely, if I was ever looking to adopt a child and I saw that little face, I would immediately I would die and would adopt him. I would die to adopt him. Are you kidding me? Do you see that face? I mean, what an angel. Um, okay, so during this conversation, during this thing, Usman just like puts it out there and he's like, Muhammad, um, so what do you think if I adopt your son, take her to take him to America, like get him educated, but also like, remember that thing where like our mom like will let me get married because of the whole like child thing, but I'll have your child. Muhammad is like, huh? And Muhammad's wife's like, she doesn't say anything the entire time. What or it edits it out. I almost wanted to see like are you telling me like there wasn't a moment that like Muhammad was like and that lady was like, "What did he just say?" And Muhammad was like, "He wants to take Mahadi to America." And then she was like, "Absolutely fucking not, my baby." Like what? But basically, it's very awkward, it's very tense, it's not a comfortable conversation, and they kind of end it by being like, "We will talk to people and see their opinion." Maybe they have to like remedy whether there is some sort of educational opportunity for Mahadi to be in America. And what a truly bittersweet, devastating choice that family would have to make if that's what they're thinking of doing. I mean, and it's something that I guess like a lot of families have to make all the time, obviously. But I mean, that boy is so adorable, so cute. I can't imagine having like waking up to a little face every morning and then be like, am I gonna like let that am I gonna give that little face away? I couldn't possibly. Oh god, it's so hard. Um after this conversation, it's very hard for Kimberly. Like she leaves them. They're gonna discuss what they want to do. Jamal and Kimberly like kind of getting to what's gonna happen. He's like, I can't believe you're thinking about doing this and like having a child and raising a child and everything. And she's like, well, I really want to be with Usman, and this is the way in which I can be with Usman. He's like, yeah, but why do you have to be with Usman? Like, why do you have to be with anyone? Like, look what you're doing to be with this man. And she's like, yeah, because I want to be with this man. I don't want to be alone. She's weighing her options. Her options are to be alone and now no mom, so specifically even more alone than I guess before, or to be with Usman and yes, a child. And maybe that, I mean, but listen, that child looks like that. That child's Mahadi. I don't know what to tell you. That I mean, I would jump at a heartbeat to raise that baby. But that's just me. So, um, that's it of that. I'm getting a little tired. Oh no, it's an hour and a half. How many more things have to do? Yara and Jovi. Okay, so they get to the hotel in episode 14. That and Yara's gonna meet up finally with Katrina because Yara's whole thing this whole time was like, I want to go and like help Ukrainian refugees or whatever. And Katrina's one of them. Katrina had a whole ass thing that happened. Katrina's one of Yara's best friends. In fact, was with Yara when Yara got on the plane to go to America. And Yara very much was like, babe, I'll see you in 3 months. And then Katrina just didn't see Yara for this whole time, and Yara has a whole ass kid. Mila. I love Mila. So, she meets with Katrina for having not seen her in a long time, and I just like felt for these two women. And you can't not like what's happened between them and the life and the fear. I mean, they're so young. That's the other thing. It's like to watch these two girls after like what they've been through, but they're still so young. Like Katrina's like, I'm gonna meet your baby. That's crazy. Um, so the Yara and Joey thing, if I'm gonna be honest, is not a fun thing. I'm gonna really break this down. It's basically this. I think that Yara and Jovi actually have like a pretty cushy, good life. I think they don't have a lot of drama happening between them. But I think that, we want to be on TV. I actually, but the way that this works out is so I feel like they want to have drama. So the drama they want to have, the thing that they're as really pushing home is Yara wanted to go on this trip, yes, and she wanted at first to go with the baby without Jovi for some reason in the middle of war, but that was not okay, but then so she waited for Jovi, and then Jovi came, right? Now that's why they're in Europe. She visited her mom, she's getting to visit Katrina, her mom gets to visit the baby and meet the baby, Katrina gets to meet the baby, blah, 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 blah. For some reason, Jovi has a friend named Talmadge there. I don't even know why Talmadge is there. Talmadge is this tall guy, like this beautiful Southern guy who's from America, who's Jovi's friend, who's there. I don't know what he's there for, honey. He's very tall. His name is Tall Mitch. That's what you should know. He always has Jovi's side. Second thing you should know. So, and I don't know if he's gonna like I'm sure has tried to hook up with Katrina 1 billion times. Third thing you should know. So it has become this whole thing, right? That we've said that like Yara wants to stay, and Katrina wants her to stay, and Oya wants her to stay. Everyone's trying to get Jovi to have him stay, except for Talmadge, who's on Jovi's side. Jovi's like, no, I don't want you to stay right now. I want us to all go back to America. And Yara's like, well, I want to stay because I didn't get to help anyone. I didn't get to help anyone. I wanted to come here and help people. I didn't get to help anyone. And then she's like, well, I want to stay because I haven't seen anyone and like I miss being here and I like want to hang out with my mom. Okay. And then she's like, no, actually, I want to stay. And this actually happens technically in the next episode. Because there's so many fucking times in which the same conversations happen between like four people, which is like Jovi and Yara keep having conversations in front of Katrina and Talmadge to discuss whether Yara should be able to stay or go home. But basically, um, Yara s- lets it be known after like driving around beautiful Europe with Talmadge and Katrina that she wants to in fact stay because she has been so miserable the entire time, has been horribly miserable, hates America, hates her life, has been like white knuckling it and wants for one fucking second, Jovi, for you allow me to be a little happy before I go back and just be your wife taking care of your kid while you're gone for a month. Like, that's what she, like, paints it as, and Jovi's like, "It's whatever." And Jovi's like, "No. No. I don't care." Tom, which is like, "Yeah, I better go home with your family." Katrina's like, "Jovi, you're so selfish." And Jovi's like, "I don't care. Also, you're not in this marriage." So, I don't know. Doesn't I don't know. I don't know what's real, what's not. So oh, is that it? Oh, I guess that is it because 'cause we're not talking about Ed and whatever her name is. We're not talking about Angela and Michael. Oh, I did it. I did it. I did it, right? Okay, my love. I have not been looking at your chat really at all because I've been looking at my notes, but have you been fighting amongst yourselves? Listen, I love you guys. Be cool. Um, 90 Day Fiancé Single Life is better than HEA. Like, it's been funner to watch, and it's so interesting because HEA is old people, all people that have already been on already, and it's like their old, rehashed drama, and Single Life is too. It's people like we don't even care about, like, I don't even care about Veronica at all, could you imagine? Ugh, truly not. But the drama of Single Life feels real. I love you guys. I do love you guys. Um, Single Life is fun. This one is like whatever. I don't remember, like, haven't I talked about Bilal and Shaeeda? Have they not been on for so long? Is that what happened? I feel like I don't remember anything that's happened with them. They went on a helicopter. The thing with oh, I never talked about Bilal and Shaeeda. Is that what it is? I was like, I knew I missed someone. The Bilal and Shaeeda thing is just basically this, obviously they go to New York. As I said, New York's great. I love New York. And her friend, presses him to like be like, "Are you gonna have a baby with my friend? My friend's great." And he's like, "Oh, I don't really need." He's like, "Oh yeah, your friend's great, but I've also did a lot for your friend." And she's like, "No, you haven't. And also like you didn't do anything for her that she doesn't already deserve and she would have gotten already." And he's like, "I hate your friend." And then this is like obviously me like putting it all together. And then basically, the friend talks to Bilal, and Bilal's like, "Look, if she gets pregnant, she gets pregnant." And the friend's like, "Great, great, 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 great." And then she comes back to Shy. She's like, "Great. So he said, like, if you get pregnant, you get pregnant. So just like stop wearing or stop using the birth control." And then Shy's like, he uses condoms. And you see this woman's face go, "Oh God. Oh God." No, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I thought it was worse. It's just even worse since oh, bad. It's bad. He- It really goes to show how intensely intense Bilal is. To use a condom with your own wife, who you eventually say you will have a baby with. He must be, I mean, is he just very disciplined? Is he not someone who sex is, like, incredibly pleasurable for? Or pleasurable for? Hmm, I don't know, it's just so, like I don't know why that is so bizarre to me. It's just yeah, it's bizarre to me. It's bizarre that Bilal will use condoms with Shy when they're married, and at some point, he said he will allow them to have kids. The fact that he wouldn't just pull out, I don't know why, you know, pull out, but to go the extra step of putting a plastic rubber on his peenie, therefore and we all know this because 'cause we're all adults, taking down minimizing the pleasure a little bit, making it feel a little different than it can. You know what I'm saying? You're married? I'm just, a little different. Can be a little bit, just, like a different sensation. Just there's. I mean, I know. Listen, I know what it's like to get massaged with latex gloves on, and I know what it's like to get massaged with bare hands, with oil on them, with oil on my hands. And all I'm saying is like, which one is better? I just like it's. I don't know. Like it's just there is something mildly psychotic about that. That to me is like a red flag. Like, I think that it's mildly psychotic. Now, there was another couple I knew that were married in my life that the man wanted to use condoms, and the woman that was my friend in this scenario, is bananas gorgeous. And I have discussed why and on how and why this man would decide to do that, to like and listen, there are gonna maybe be some extraneous circumstances that I don't know, and that my natural human curious mind should just let go because I, shouldn't wanna know everything about everyone. I it's like, what is it? I don't know. Okay, listen, it's like, I'm gonna make myself breakfast every day, but it's gonna be breakfast that I got last night from my neighbor's trash can. It's like, why would you choose that? Over and over again every time? Wow, it's crazy. Um, oh my god. Natatat. I think he likes to use the condom to contain the mess. Oh, the mess. That's so sad because, obviously there can be something n human the human parts of lovemaking are the, like, parts that are primal and sometimes awkward and sometimes whatever it is, like, those are the parts that are the human parts, like, yes, there's, like, the very s I think it's, the primal parts of lovemaking can be very sexy, and I find them, that kind of, like, maybe just, like, more of a primal aspect to it being a turn on, and someone who is overly neat freaky about the things that might happen during sex or whatever, is a turn off. It's like, makes you feel like you aren't a sexual like, we want I want a lover at some point who isn't, like, obsessed with sex, but, like, when it's time to get down, like, wants it and, like, like, is down for it, like, it is a sexual human being with, like, red blood or whatever the fuck you call it. Red-hotted blood is what I almost call it, but, like, no, like, it's not sexy to be like, "Meh, I gotta clean up." I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah, that is exactly it. It's too messy. God. Oh, I feel so bad for her. There's nothing better than just, like, being okay being a little dirty, right? Isn't that what it's about? We live our whole lives being, like, neat or clean or upright or citizens. There's just the time in which you kinda get a little base. That's what in a different way, it's like the kind of thing that, like, can be the fun thing about humor a little bit because sometimes when you're in a comedy club and it's dark or it's late night, the humor can get a little dark or base or dirty, and that kinda shit can be a little fun. You don't live your whole life like that. You'll get out, you'll leave, you'll go back to your clean room and your clean house, and then you'll wake up and you'll have your whole scheduled life, but it's the, like, few hours in between that, like, gives you life. That kind of, like, overly scheduled or overly, like, thought of stuff, like, that's maniacal, and that is like, it makes you I feel like it's, like, a stress-worthy thing. That means you don't, like, allow yourself to let go. He has no intention of giving her a child. He's gonna string her along until she's older and say, "It'll be too risky because 'cause you're older." Lisa, my son at 17, "Do you think sex is dirty?" "Me, yeah, if you do it right." "Yeah, yeah, it is. Of course it is. Hell yeah, dirty." I mean, yeah, it is, like, right? And also, when you're with someone who, like, is just confident in what's happening and is okay with whatever is happening, that's sexy. What's not sexy is having somebody like, "Oh, excuse me, I just have to like, oh, can we just can you not right there? Can you just like can you move it over here? Can you mind turning around and just aiming a little? I don't know. Girls don't aim unless they, Actually, I shouldn't. But what I got to move on for this. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just not even a sexy thing. It's just like I feel so bad for her, and it's like and her friend. I feel like in this whole this whole New York trip for Uterus is coming to understand what her friend has traded for her new life. And Uterus feels sad for her friend. No matter if Shy is making fun TikToks. I think, that's what that would be about. And, Bilal isn't a wise man for all of his Amanness. He doesn't have the wherewithal to truly look past his own nose, and therefore I wouldn't trust him to look past anyone's own nose. That's why I would never go to him for advice. But he doesn't also know how to talk to people. It's incredibly interesting how horribly he like communicates with Uterus. He's very much like defensive instead of disarming intrusive questions with a wink and a smile. And I know it's not fun to do, but there is a way to do it. Aren't you curious? That's something that me and my SO will have to discuss. We've talked about that, thank you, but it requires more research for us now. I'm comfortable answering a few questions, but I also don't want to make it the dinner's whole discussion. I would like to also ask you some questions about your life, Uterus. Turn it around. That's the actual best Playman's book. It's like if you want someone to stop asking things about you, ask questions about them. He is cold as ice, unaware, narcissistic, demanding, controlling, and a monster. I agree. The friend is quite intrusive. However, that's because Shy told her so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Shy was like, because Shy wants people to like stick up for her and talk on her behalf because she can't get anywhere. She's not making any headway. She does later. So then after this conversation, he basically is like, "How can I distract Shy? I will take her on a helicopter ride." She's like, "Fuck this helicopter. Give me a baby." Don't your fucking ears work? I know I said I want a baby by 40, but then we went to a whole ass doctor who said that like my eggs are dying by the dozen every goddamn moment. So like, no, we don't have time now. No, we're like gonna pick it up a notch. No, you heard what I heard. You're not deaf. It's like do or die. And I said I want one. Two, maybe. But I definitely want one. And I won't allow you to fuck me over. And also, you're renting me a space for my yoga studio. Anyway, so I've been taking more yoga. I feel better about it. Okay, I think I actually did talk about them all now, right, my love? Okay, so that comes to the mega episode. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna still talk, so don't worry, but please thumbs up this video and just give this algorithm a little like. You know that your girl has been not here, so she is losing whatever social media influence every moment of her life, and she understands that. It's just life is hard. So if you don't mind liking this or giving it a little comment after it goes up, that would mean a lot. I always love talking to you all. So me not being here for 3 weeks truly wasn't that I talking to you now. Like I just or seeing your names and stuff. It makes me feel good. And I'm so sorry. Has this been hard for everyone? Has this been like a hard time? I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna like get this over here. I've just been like, I think coming to understand that I've been depressed and I have to, you know, start to actively change some of the routines I've gotten myself into to like get back into some better, healthier routines. And I've been like neglecting a lot of parts of me that make me feel good and filled, and they're therefore not doing those things have made me feel empty and then somewhat despair in the emptiness. But, I'm just really trying to work out and just do the things that I have to do. You are late, but I made it all right as I'm going. I know. I feel so bad. But yeah, I'm back to working out, and that's been really, really hard. I gained weight, and I've talked to you about that, and it's been really annoying. I won't talk about it more because I don't want to be the person that just talks about it. But if you're on this channel, you know that like it's something that I struggle with. It sucks. But one thing that's been really helping me is understanding that even if I have cravings at night, or even if I want to eat at night, I don't have to say yes. I can just sit with the craving, understand it, and just don't assign a story to it. It's what it is. And just even if I want a snack, I don't have to say yes. It's just what it is. I want a snack. Maybe it's emotional. Maybe I'm bored. Maybe I feel lonely. Whatever it is, just letting it go. And or also to be more mindful of my choices. And or being like, I have to work out. Because working out for me like helped my mental mood and also makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. And I have a situation in my life where I don't feel like I had maybe all of the parenting in my life that took care of me. And so me taking care of myself feeds a part of me that I feel empty, a part of me that feels uh, neglected, and that I only have myself to make sure that like I'm on top of my things. I think this time of year is difficult, but it's been hard to motivate. It's been hard to like do things. It's been hard to like get things done. One thing that I really wanted to do that I haven't done is I have to put together like a fun video of like Ma and I's like trek to Minnesota. Haven't done it yet. Go through and edit footage together for like different reels for that. Haven't done it. Obviously didn't do 3 episodes of this. Did do the podcast, but just been trying to like be on top of my stuff as well as like random Christmas stuff. Everything from like trying to like decorate the house, like I live with my dad and most of the time, but I have my apartment in West Hollywood still. My dad's house is lovely and great, and I just like wanted to be festive because I know it also makes him happy, and so but it's just been like an ordeal to get all my stuff together from last year and have the help to put it up because some things require strong people. So, I think that I've just been w- sort of, I think, I would say that maybe missing and or desiring some wins. Maybe like, yeah. It's been so long since I've worked and gotten paid. It's like I can't believe it. I'd love to book work. I'd love to meet someone, you know, that is attractive to me. Oh god, 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 god. It's just like whatever it is. Like those things aren't happening, so I have to just like put my head down and work on myself and just but if you feel shitty, it's hard to like work at all. But sometimes I feel guilty and shame by that because I have, in fact, an incredible life and I feel really great about it. So you're just like, you're just going back and forth. Like you're just like, I couldn't be more privileged. I love my family and friends. I have like so many blessings and stuff. Why is it hard for me to get some things done? Why do I feel sad sometimes? Why is it hard for me to get this thing? Why is it hard for me to like do that? It's just what's like what is like depression or what is just like seasonal stuff and what is just like the ebbs and flows of life and what are just, is that what it is? I don't know. I just like the things I'm going through right now. Lisa says, count your blessings, say gratitude list every day, start with basic survival needs met, clean air and water, warm bed, roof overhead, health. Yes, yes. Those I do have all those things. And I totally do. I am incredibly blessed. I know it. But it's like, well, so what do I have to show for it? For all my blessings? Don't shouldn't I have with such privilege, shouldn't I have more to show for it? I think is like what I kind of feel less than because I feel like I don't have that much to show for it. Um, yeah, holidays remind us of what you didn't have. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. But working out is really helping. Spinning is really, really helping. I'm like really enjoying that, and that's feeling really, really good. I'm taking off these earrings. Yeah, like also talking to people. I'm going back to therapy, as I said. That feels good. That feels like I'm actively working towards the things I want to do. So usually when I feel depressed, the first things that happen that I have to do is, I don't know about you, I have to take hyper care of my body. So like the first thing I do is make sure that like from head to toe I am pristine. Obviously showered for sure, but like I will then like get my hair dyed if my hair needs to be dyed and cut. I will like deep condition my hair. I will like scrub my whole body. I will like get my eyebrows done if I need to get my eyebrows done. I will get my nails done if I need to get my nails done. I will get a massage and my calluses removed and uh I will do like hyper care, self-care, a lot of skincare stuff. And that is the one part that starts to like make me feel a little better. And then I have to make sure that my like living situations are pristine. I have to make sure my bedroom is incredibly clean. I have to make sure my car is really, really clean. I have to be like surrounded by Bilal style uh, organization and cleanliness. And then once I get those things, and then I can start actively doing the things if I want to start writing or if I want to like work with someone or a coach or whatever it is to like do the thing I want to start doing. But if I can just start, I mean, with like a fine tooth comb going over my like body, myself, and my like car and home, immediate surroundings, and get them like 100% up to speed and like working well, it's like the first thing that will alleviate some amount of cloudiness, lethargy, um, or like those kind of like feelings. Life is peaks and valleys. That is true. I love a little purple heart. You are only duty to be a good person and soul, and you exceed in your those categories. You are loved and adored. Thank you. You're only a good person. I think that because I have a dad who's been so generous with me, I think that I like fight want a feeling like I'm like spoiled or perceived as someone who doesn't have to do anything. And so even though my dad is financially stable, and so that's what I'm talking about. My dad has no connections like with like Hollywood stuff or whatever. So everything I've done and like acting or whatnot has always been on me. And I think it's another part of me that makes me feel really, really good. Like the performing part of me is like something that I have for myself or whatever. God bless. Um, yeah, but like I think, I think that I would just enjoy the next round of my life that kind of brings into brings into the forefront the things that I have worked on and hopefully like gotten better at so that when things I want come in my life, I'm better able to like handle them, you know? Self-care is letting this physical world go, demands on you, etc. Be selfish, care for little Chris, not adult. Caring for little Chris is so true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, my loves. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I really, really, really thank you for being here and like being patient with me and just like showing up and like, listening to me talk about a dumb show for 2 hours, but then also in the last 15 minutes just hearing me talk about sadness or whatever. And feeling like I let myself down and feeling mad at myself. I'm mad at myself that I like got out of my rhythm and I'm mad at myself that I gained weight. And I'm mad at myself that I, haven't been able to, like, make some more progression in my other parts of my career. I think I would have liked to have written more probably during COVID and whatnot, but at the same time, I started a whole podcast with one of my best friends, as you know, and we have a bunch of content up. We definitely have done a bunch of episodes. We have 3 episodes of the Harry and Meghan docuseries. Have you guys watched that? What are your thoughts on that? Juan, I have thoughts. I'm sure you think we do, and we do. So that's up. That's been fun. I really, really love doing that. I really love for that to grow. So trying to make that all happen for us and for Wa. And just like moving through. I'm also feeling depressed and the same fucking feeling unmotivated to study. Oh my God, I get it. I get it. All I could think to do is just text your friend, text your one girlfriend, your one that like is a little bit maybe more on top of things, maybe a little more organized, maybe the Virgo in your life, and be like, "Hey friend, you know what? I'm having like some challenges motivating, and could we could you help me be accountable?" One thing that helps me be accountable when it comes to working out is just wearing my Apple Watch. A, because I have some people that are like, we follow each other's the rings closing and stuff, and then also B, it makes me feel good when I see like a rings close. Marsha, I love you. Lisa, just do things for fun. Live chats are fun. Fuck weight. Fuck regrets. They benefit no one ever. Look forward, not behind. Oh, I love you. Thank you for this live tonight. Thank you, Marsha. All right, my loves. We are going to have, listen, I know I was like obviously mildly Debbie Downer, but the truth of the matter is, we have to talk about these things because we are human. We are all human and we all have similar behaviors. We don't all do the same behaviors, but the behavior that we can demonstrate is similar enough that we can call it out. I'm someone who deals a lot with more anxiety than in depression. It's not often that I deal with depression, but I can talk about it. And my depression, like, I mean, talking about it with you, it was, to be honest, yes, it's unmotivating and lethargy, and I feel like emptiness. That all sucks, 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 and I have like issues eating. Other people have different issues. Like I'm so. I talked about Twitch today, who was an amazing dancer and host who had mental health issues that we maybe don't know about, or other issues. I'm not quite sure, my husband, from what the report's saying, that he killed himself. I am so thankful that I've never felt anything that dark. And my I mean, and I don't and I don't want anyone to. And I know I wonder what the solution is because I would like, like, can you connect to someone, like, what could have is there something that can be done to, like, help people with depression? But I think that sometimes, you have to, like, want to change and to help yourself, and then also a whole other time it can be so chemically imbalanced that, like, we could it could be beyond. So the levels of it or whatever it is, you know? But I think that, because of Instagram, we can all paint, like, a picture that's all very, like, happy-go-lucky. And for Twitch, my god, like, his TikTok is him, like, happily dancing with his wife all the time, you know? I wonder if he, like, opened up or if people knew. I mean, I don't know. The thing with Twitch is so sad to me. Very different from what I'm feeling. But I want us all to feel that the human experience is all of it, and, you know, the human experience is all of it. It's like all that lonely, like, we literally talk about a show where people are so lonely all the time, they make crazy decisions all the time because they're so lonely, or they feel empty, or they feel unlovable. It's almost, like, too bad that there isn't just, like, some bank we could all go to that, like, somehow gives us these feelings or these or, like, fills us up with such things. What are the things that could fill us up in such a way that we don't feel those? I mean, Not a dat. I love you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it does discharge to talk about the energy behind such things. Like, and that, not everyone, yeah, like, not everyone is just on their shit all the time, and, it's annoying. One thing I figured out that helps is when I recognize I'm feeling depressed to avoid thinking deeply until it lifts. It saves me from a downward spiral that can sometimes happen. Yeah, it's just like Heather will be like, "Oh yeah," and I'll be like up here, and then like one thing will happen, right? Like, so dumb thing. So I was already feeling good, then I was feeling depressed, and I started feeling better again, and then I like went out and like had like a great night and then I met some lovely gentleman that I like talked to all night, and then like I exchanged numbers with the person. The person never texts me, and then I'm like, huh, oh. For like 3 days, had to get back out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just but when you're feeling such a way or whatnot, something can bring you down. And so, yes, it's like why mindfulness and meditation is good because if you can somehow learn to control your mind and to not attach things to thoughts and to understand that thoughts are passing fancies and you and your mind are the stagnant ones and things just come and go like wind, all these things, these techniques to try and like ground yourself in your own self identity and not let yourself be taken away by either obsessive thoughts or whatever it is. That's the work you do. And like, I think I just forget that I have to do it, which is like, that kind of work is also very reminiscent of the work that I have to do with mindful eating as well. It comes down to your mindset and the way that you let your mind work, I guess, and the practice that you do on techniques so that when push comes to shove, you have some control over your mind. Uh, I don't know if mindfulness can really help with depression though. Maybe intrusive thoughts or obsessiveness, but I don't know how it would actually like make you feel motivated. I don't know what does. Oh, I love you guys. Connecting others with the key. I mean, I feel the same thing. That's why it's like I think that it's one of the I think that connection with humans is going to like someday be a medicine that people like prescribe to people because it'll be that hard. It'll be like that non-existent in some people's lives. Like maybe it'll be like something you prescribe. You need more connection in your life. You know? I think that if you haven't dated in a while, if you haven't been physically intimate in a while, I think it's always really great to get a massage just to get like a little touch, you know? The connection of human touch, non-sexual. Hopefully not in latex gloves. As I've already said, getting a massage in latex glove is shitty and having sex with a condom is not as great. Okay, my love, we're gonna end this live as we do with a breath. I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful that you have spent any time here with me talking about this BS. It's a holiday season. People are going through it. I promise you that now I've had this conversation with you, that tomorrow I will lead with grace for myself and the people that I come in contact with too. I want to have grace and breath with everyone. Okay, my loves. Okay, let's do our breath. 2 of them in. 1 and out. And then 1 more in. And out. All right, my friends. I'm gonna go. It's 11:41. I'm so sorry I was late. I was had the longest dinner, and as I tell you that I am gonna have grace for tomorrow, I definitely had to, like, talk to the manager at the restaurant of where I went for how long the dinner was going so I could leave. So, I'm happy to start afresh, and I wasn't great today with my own, like, ability to weather storms, and I'm excited for a chance to be better at tomorrow. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you guys are feeling. I love you guys so much. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you can. It's at Chris Alfera. Of course, Docu Sweeties is live wherever you listen to podcasts: Amazon, Apple, Spotify. We also have the Patreon, which you talked about, patreon.com/DocuSweeties. And then you'll see everything that we've ever recorded up to date, including all of the single life recaps that we did. And finally, if you ever want to know when I'm going to go live and you're on Facebook, you can go to Vanity Fair, which is my private Facebook group. Okay, my loves, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Liverpool Last. Thank you, um, Heather, Nat, Renee, Marcia. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm just going back. Lise, Nelson, thank you so much. Okay. I really, really want you to have like such a beautiful rest of your week. So take my love with you, and you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Solstice. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, babes.